I'm Jason. This is Build Apps Without Code, where non-technical people hang out and build apps. No code required. On my last Instagram clone video, I asked you to write, "Oh yeah," in the comments if you wanted a part 3, and I got some oh yeahs. So here's part 3. But first, a quick recap. In part 1, we designed the home feed page. We got stories. We got posts. We got some good looking dogs. In part 2, we worked on some navigation. We built this beautiful slide-in menu. And we started the pages for activity and messages and search and profile. And now, here in part 3, we are going to build a sign-up page, a login page, an onboarding page, a forgot password page, and we're going to make it all functional, of course. Are you ready?
3, 2, 1.
Go. Just before we start here, if you go to buildappswithoutcode.com/Instagram clone and sign up, I will send you the link to this exact bubble project that we're working on. Some of you have been asking how to get your preview mode to look like this. Let me show you. Let's open a preview. First thing I do here is I take off debug mode usually. I can just take it right out of the URL. And that takes that debug bar off the bottom. Also, if I want to view it in mobile, I can click the 3 dots here. This is Google Chrome, and I click on More Tools and Developer Tools. And that brings up this window here. Now if I click this little button right here, Toggle Device Toolbar, now I can see it with the iPhone frame around it. And I can also change the device. So here I have iPhone 6, 7, 8 Plus selected, but I can choose like Samsung, iPad. I like iPhone 6, 7, 8 because it has the iPhone frame around it if I'm testing in mobile. If you don't have that in your list, just click on Edit and there's a bunch more options here. Okay, so we don't have anything showing here, and remember that's because we have everything hidden by default and we're showing things based off the page parameter. So when I click on home, this pops up in the URL, page equals home, and then the stories and the feed show up. If I click on search, page equals search, and now we're showing the search page. So we want to do something similar for sign up and login. So we're going to head over here to the designer, and let's first hide these groups here. I have a placeholder group that I can show just so I can see something on the screen here. And let's open up the index page, and I'm going to just give this a minimum height of 1,000 for now, just so I have some space to work with. So that opens that up nicely there. I'm just going to open up one of our other groups here, activity, and let's just copy and paste it. Copy, paste, and this is here now, group activity copy. So let's show that, hide this one. Because this one we're going to call group sign up. We're going to change the condition to sign up. And this text here, just so we know we're on the right page, I'm just going to call that sign up page. So back in our preview now, if I change this page parameter to sign up, you can see now it says sign up page. So we're looking at the right group there. Okay, let's build out this sign up page. Now I want my logo, so let's just take this one here, copy and paste. I just want it to be a little bit bigger, so let's do 200 and horizontal alignment centered. Cool, I'm going to put some padding on our group here. 20 all around, and we can take this off now. Okay, now our sign up page does not need the floating group on top of it or the floating group on the bottom because we're not actually logged in yet. So this doesn't have to show. So on my floating group, I'm going to put a condition here. Get data from page URL. The parameter name is page. If it equals signup, then we're going to hide it. This element is visible, no. And I'm going to copy this condition, paste it in this floating group as well. Perfect. So if I went to home, those floating groups appear. But if I go to sign up, they do not. Now there's a little margin left over on this group that we don't need anymore. So let's take that off. I also want to take off the color. We don't need that blue color right now. Okay, and hide those floating groups. I don't need to see those. Okay. Looking good. Let's throw some text on the screen here under the logo, which can say, sign up to see photos and videos from your friends. Robo 12, Robo 14, Robo 16. We'll try that. Layout, not fixed width, no min width, so it expands full width of the screen. No min height, because we're just going to fit height the content. All right, this is a little tight, so let's add some gap spacing in our group. Group sign up, apply gap spacing between elements. Start with 20. Now, what else does a sign up page have? A couple of inputs, email, password. Here's our input element. Drop that on the screen, and we'll call this input sign up email. Placeholder, email address. Content format, important that we select email here. This input should not be empty. I'm going to check that, and I'll tell you why soon. And let's make this not fixed width. And for inputs and buttons, I usually use 50 height. We'll take a quick look at my style here. I'm using Roboto and have a roundness of 10, horizontal padding 10, and a shadow style outset. 2 and 2 on the vertical and horizontal offset, 4 on the blur radius, 0 on the spread radius. We could maybe add a spread as well. Box shadow color is black, but 10 opacity. And it looks like that. Back to design, I'm going to copy this, paste it, and use this one for password. Content format is now password. Input should not be empty. Placeholder password. Next we need a button. So I'm going to grab a button, drop it on screen, and this button will say sign up. Sign me up. Sign me up. Not fixed width. Min height 50. Looking good.
Oh yeah.
I'm actually going to take these 3 elements, select them all, right click, group elements in a column container, because I want them to be stacked, so we choose column. And I'm going to call this group sign up inputs, because I want this gap spacing to be 20, but I actually want the gap spacing on the outer group to be 40. Make sure we clear that out. There we go. So we have gap spacing of 40 between the logo and the text here, but the inputs are all kind of grouped together nicely. Okay, so we need to assign actions to this button to tell Bubble what to do when the user clicks sign me up.
No one likes to be told what to do.
So I'm going to start edit a workflow on this button. And we're going to choose account and sign the user up. Nice and easy. The email will be input sign up email value, and the password will be input sign up password value. We could send an email to confirm the email address, but we're not going to do that in this case. Remember the email, yes. Okay, and one more thing I want to do here on the sign me up button, I'm going to put a conditional here to say when this button isn't clickable, I want to change the background color and just put an opacity of 50 on there. So because we said this input should not be empty on email address and on password, now this button is, you're not going to be able to click it unless these fields are validated, unless there's an email address here and a password entered here. So this condition, this button isn't clickable, means that you can't click it yet because these fields haven't been filled in. When it is not clickable, we are going to change the background color. So it looks like this, it's just faded out a little bit. And then I can put an email address. And then the button turns to blue again. That means I can click it. Let's finish off the design here. I also want to log in with Facebook button. Let's copy this, paste. I'm going to remove this style and change it a bit. So this blue here, I'll put as the text, and we'll put a solid border with that same color. And then the background will make white. Okay, so it's still blue, but now it has a white background. And here we'll say log in with Facebook. Now one thing actually here is I want to put a little icon inside the button, and usually I would do that with some BB code like this. Facebook icon, we'll have to see what the icon is actually called. But this doesn't work on a button. This BB code, it only works in a text element. So let's grab a text element. We'll just remove the style and we'll copy what we just did with the button. So the text was blue. Border was blue, roundness of 10. And background is white. I think maybe this was 500. Not fixed width, min width 0, min height 50. Let's take this, throw it in here. Now we can get rid of that. Now this isn't working, so we got to figure out what that icon is called. So I'm just going to grab an icon, drop it on screen, look up Facebook. This one's good. Facebook Square. Facebook Square, and there it is. Perfect. So FA means font awesome, and if you just put in the icon name there, then it'll grab the icon name and put it into your text element. Looking good. I want to put a little or text in there. So I copied and pasted, and we're just going to say or, and center, fit with the content. There we go. Sign me up or log in with Facebook. One more thing to finish this page. I want more text on the bottom. Which says, I already have an account. Because we're also going to build a login page. So if they land on the sign up page and they already have an account, they need a way to switch to the login page. So we'll center that, fit width to content, and How does it look? Not bad. Okay, one more thing we need to do on this sign me up button. Start edit workflow. We don't just want to sign the user up, we also want to go somewhere else. So once they sign up, we're going to go to page, we're going to go to index, and we're going to go to the home page or the feed. So once they sign up, we're going to redirect them to the feed. Let's try it out. Sign me up, and we're in. So now if we head over to data, app data, all users, you can see we have a new user with my email address, but they don't have a username, they don't have a profile picture, so we need some kind of an onboarding screen. So instead of going straight to the feed, maybe we should go to an onboarding screen first where they can add their username and add a profile picture. So let's copy this group again, paste, sign up copy, we'll show this. We'll call this onboarding. And we'll change the conditional here to only show up when the parameter is onboarding. Okay, so let's change this a bit. This can be, we just need a few more things, then you can head on in. We'll keep that, we don't need this anymore. Don't need this. Let's start with a profile picture. So we're going to use picture uploader. Drop that in there. Okay, let's edit this style, because we want some Roboto to match everything else we have in our app. Around this, I want this to be a full circle, so let's just do 100. And we'll do black with some opacity. Cool, looks good. We'll do it a little bit smaller maybe, try 100. And 100 by 100 should be fine, and we can center that. Click to upload an image. Okay, now this is going to be, let's do full name. Content format, text. Input should not be empty. You can make it required or not. We'll make it required. And this one will be username. Content format, text. This one should definitely be required. So at this point, if I want to see my page, I can just change this parameter to onboarding. And here it is. You can see that the floating groups, top and bottom, are showing again. So we need to hide those, because we added a condition to hide them when the page URL is signup, or when the parameter is signup. Let's just copy, paste, change this to onboarding. And copy this, paste it on the nav bottom. Perfect. Now we can take the min height off this group. While we're at it, we could take the min height off group sign up. And I think I'll try 40/40 top and bottom for the onboarding. A couple more things. This I want to center. And I can do that with some BB code here. You can just type it in, or you can click on rich text editor and just center it that way. And instead of sign me up, we'll just say let's go. They already signed up on the previous step, so now we're just entering a few details and going to the dashboard. So let's go. Workflow is just going to be go to dashboard or go to home. Page equals home. And one more thing I want to change. The sign me up button, we're going to go to onboarding page this time. Instead of going home, we're going to go to onboarding. And finally, let's go. We actually have to save the data that they entered here. So let's go back here. Before we go to the home page, we're going to go to data things, make changes to a thing to change, current user. Profile picture will come from the image uploader, picture uploader, which we'll have to name better. And username. Let's see, so here we'll call this, or we'll just call it onboarding. And here, sign up full name is fine, sign up username. We don't have a field yet for full name, so let's go to data, data types, user, create a new field, full name, text. Now we can save that data to the database. So back on our Let's Go button, we also want the full name. All right, that should be first. So I'm just going to drag this to step 1. Step 2, go to the home page. We're going to start on sign up. Sign me up. Okay, now the user is created, but we're taken to this onboarding page. We just need a few more things, then you can head on in. Okay, image uploaded, username, Bach. I'm Bach. Baby, let's go. And we're in. There's my profile picture. Now that we have a way to sign up here, we need a way to log out. So let's go to, I'm going to hide sign up and onboarding for now and show our profile group. And let's take this off. We'll take off the blue color and throw a button on there called log out. Our profile icon is hidden behind built-on bubble, but we can just change the parameter here to profile. And there's our log out. Start workflow on there. And the action is account, log the user out. Very simple. So now I can say log out. And maybe one more thing we want to do there, after we log out, send them back to the login page. So go to page, index parameter in this case is login. And we haven't created that page yet, but let's do that now. Okay, login page is going to be very similar to the sign up page. So let's hide profile, show sign up, hide these navigation bars. I'm going to take group sign up, copy and paste. Now we have group sign up 2, but this is actually going to be called group login. And this inner group will be called group login inputs. We'll change this text here to say welcome back. And this should be centered. Rich text editor, center it. Now this input, we're going to change the name so we can differentiate them. And instead of sign me up, we'll call this log me in. Or log in with Facebook. We can keep that there for the login page. Now we're not actually going to work on the login with Facebook functionality in this video. That could be its own video. I'm just putting in here for design purposes. We will work on the basic sign up and login functionality. So here I actually named the wrong thing. This is log me in. There we go. And this will say don't have an account. And don't forget the condition.
Please don't forget me.
We're going to change this to login. So only show this page when our page parameter that we called page is login. So over here in our preview, page equals login. Here it is. And one more time, we have to take out these navigation menus. Copy paste, and when it is login, we also want to hide these floating groups. Perfect. So what happens when you click don't have an account? Let's put an action there. Start workflow, add an action. We're going to go to page, It's always index on mobile apps. Send more parameters to the page. And we're going to change it to page equals sign up. So here we're on login, and we know that because it says page equals login. But when you click don't have an account, it changes it to page equals sign up. So we have to do the same thing for already have an account, except the opposite. Looks like our validation fade isn't working there, so let's just fix that. Oh, it's because we don't have any actions yet on LogMeIn, so let's do that. Start edit workflow on LogMeIn. And again, these sign up and login actions are pretty simple. Here we want the email address will be the one from the login screen. Password from the login screen. Stay logged in, yes, remember the email. All right, so now, when I say login below, well, it didn't actually go anywhere because we didn't put a go to page action on our log me in button. So we logged in, but we didn't navigate anywhere. So in this case, we just want to go straight to the home dashboard or the home feed. Try that one more time. Okay, put in my username, put in my password. I already have an account. We're logging in, we're not signing up. So I'm going to click log me in and it takes me right into my feed. There's my profile picture and I'm ready to rock. Last thing we need is forgot password on our login page. Here's our login group. I'm going to copy don't have an account, paste. And this one we'll call forgot password. And again, we're going to copy this login page and paste. And here it is here. So this one we'll call group forgot password. We'll change this to reset password. And in this case, we just need an email address. We don't need a password. And this button we'll call send reset email. Don't need this or this or this. And this we'll just call cancel. Pretty simple stuff here. So send reset email. Let's name this input here first. Forgot password email. Okay, and in account there is an action for send password reset email. The email to reset will be the forgot password email that the user inputs. Here you can change the subject or body of the email that's sent, but Bubble already has a default here, which you can just leave or you can customize it. I'm just going to leave it. And after that's sent, I'm just going to redirect them back to the login screen. So they'll get the email, and then from that email, they'll be able to reset the password, and then they can come back to the login screen. So let's go. And then cancel, we'll just send them back to the login screen again. So let's go back to the login. Forgot password, start edit workflow. Go to page. Where the parameter is forgot password. Now that works. Oh, we got to take off those headers again. But let's see if this works for us. So my email. Send. That sent me back to the login. Maybe you can show some kind of success message that says an email was sent to you. Okay, and here is that email that I got. Click reset here. And I get taken to this page where I can reset it, and that is actually And that is actually a default page that comes when you create a new Bubble account, which is right here. Reset password. So you can customize this screen if you want as well. But that should work. Okay, so we built a sign up page, we built a login page, we built an onboarding page, we built a forgot password page. One more thing we need to do. If I log in here I am on the home feed. However, if I log out, I'm still able to access the app, even though I'm not logged in. So if I just change this to home, I can still get in here, even though I'm not logged in as a user. We don't want that. We need the user to only be able to access the app if they're logged in. So here's what we can do. Workflow, add an event, general, user is logged out. So when the user is logged out, we want to redirect them back to the login screen every time. So here we're going to say, go to page. Index where the parameter is login. Okay, so if I update this, since I was logged out, I got redirected back to the login page. And now if I change the parameter here to home, it just takes me back here. I can't get into the app. I'm always taken back to the login page. But once I log in, now I can access the app. Isn't that wonderful? All right, I'm gonna stop here for today. If you go to buildappswithoutcode.com/Instagram clone and sign up, I will send you the link to this exact bubble project in a view only mode so you can click around and see exactly how it was done. I appreciate you watching as always. If you learned something today, please subscribe. It lets me know that people are watching and gives me the motivation I need to continue to make these videos. I have more bubble videos in the pipeline, so if you like this one, turn on notifications and you won't miss the next one. And if you want an Instagram clone part 4, type YOLO in the comments. YOLO, Y-O-L-O. Type it in the comments. You'll get a part 4 coming soon. You're awesome. Don't forget it. Much love. Peace.